Welcome, Capricorn. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your full moon reading in Sagittarius. On May 31st, the full moon is a blue micromoon. Whenever there are two full moons in 1 month, this month of May, there was a full moon on the 1st of May. The second full moon becomes the blue moon. The expression uh, once every blue moon or something like that. You know what I mean? It's a long time. They repeat, but it's usually an interval of a few years between them. The micro moon is because Sagittarius is furthest away from the Earth at this time of year. And so the moon appears a bit smaller than it ordinarily does. So together, the moon does not turn blue, unfortunately, but it is a time of focusing on those Sagittarian themes of freedom, of what has been hidden, what we've been digging at, what we've been trying to uncover, particularly over the last month or so, is something that is becoming incredibly visible. And it isn't the freedom just to move and pursue a new horizon, but it is knowing that that truth, that freedom actually comes when we arrive at the horizon. We don't know what it is we'll find. We only know that we are open and we are called to a new adventure, a new exploration, a new way of learning and growing. So I'm going to start with the energy archaeology, and I pulled for you the perspective card, and I'm going to read from the book. Perspective gives you the gift of seeing more, not only with your eyes, but with your other senses. Pausing in a place where you can gain perspective is an evolved trait. Slowing down and gaining perspective gives you the ability to work with your environment rather than react to it, and to change the future by purposeful design. Let the energy of your environment swirl around you for longer, however long it takes. Sometimes perspective can be gained in a split second, but it can also take its sweet time solidifying into guidance that you may not have recognized in your haste to change the way you see things. Integrate what it feels like to allow yourself to be moved before you do the moving. This pathway guides you to sit with these things long enough to make sure your new path of vision for your life isn't reactionary, but rather comes from guidance deep within. And how interesting this is combined with loneliness. I know that I am never alone. This is particularly relevant because this is impacting you in an area of your life where we often associate with closure, with wrapping something up, with completing something. And as a part of completing it, we are gathering the lessons of the experience that we've just completed. That's what makes the closure valuable. That's what gives it its meaning. And so these are things that can only be done within ourselves on our own time. No one else goes with you to that place of gaining the significance or meaning of an experience but you. It's done alone. It's done in your own space of your own intuitive intelligence. But this is about gaining a new perspective in order to be prepared for what is coming towards you, in order to know even which direction to move in. So this is coming at a time when you are very comfortable understanding that you are releasing a past, that you are severing a past. And this is beyond a conscious desire. This is where you have learned perhaps over a long period of time, that things that you once aligned with, identified with, are no longer serving you, don't work for you, don't support you in ways that you are eager to move through to a new place. You want to experience this new version of your understanding of the world. In the present, wow, the Sun and the Four of Swords. This is interesting because you're finding true happiness, true being, true expression, true pleasure in contemplating what you've learned from your experiences, particularly the difficult experiences. And for Capricorns, it is no difficulty to find plenty of hardships that you've overcome, difficulties, blocks, failures, disappointments, all of these things that you are now contemplating as a way of accepting who you are, the beautiful pleasure, opportunity, liberty you have to enjoy the world, to enjoy the earth, all of its bounty. This sense of gratitude wells up in you from recognizing that you had to go through what can seem like the most challenging, disastrous difficulties in order to be the person you are now, a person that it looks like you are falling in love with, a person that has gotten out of jail free, this inner child within you that is now feeling free, at least in the sanctum of your own soul, in your own experience, in the way that you are summing up or wrapping up a period of your life, that you feel like you actually are authentically connected up with your most joyful experience of life. In the past, we have the Devil card. Your card, my card. The Devil card is talking about, wow, a whole way in which you have understood, despite the superficial trappings of your life, that you have been responding to, reacting to the status quo, trying to fit yourself into what others expected, others imagined, others thought was best for you, far beyond individual choices you made in your life. This is the recognition of an entire system that held you to a place of serving others and serving others exclusively. It was not your role, your right to have pleasure, joy, fulfillment, play on your own terms. Other people needed you. Other people depended upon you to do what was right, to do what was necessary, to take care of their needs. And for much of your life, you did that and you've done it well. But you realize that this really was a system, a set of rules that were not relevant to who you have become. And understanding that you had to work through this system to get to the other side, to realize that the only rule is you. You are the only rule. The rule is your magic. The Devil can also talk about our passion, our complete devotion to, in the past, being the best we could be for all the people that depended on us to do so, to be so. It also means that your passion is no longer thwarted by what others need, what others demand, what others expect. Your passion for life, a particular skill or talent you likely have, is free to express itself. In the future, the Knight of Swords and the Ten of Cups The Knight of Swords is coming up for we earth signs quite a bit. This is showing me that community, protection, security, stability, sharing resources is nothing like what you thought it would be. That you actually now have a vision of functional community in which you are embedded, have a place, have a role, and experience all the pleasures and benefits that others do. And this is not what you imagine your life to be. This is not what you imagine fulfillment to look like. The 10 of Cups can be, happy ever after. And you're actually still discovering what that means to you. You're still a part of the architecture that creates this community that is inclusive, that takes people where they're at, that allows people to amplify whatever modest resources they have in a way that gains value for a whole host of others, and a reciprocal sharing, a reciprocal concern, safety, protection, knowing that what's shared is understood to be intimate, to be life-changing, to be shared as the range of experiences, not just happy ones, but ones in which we can share with others, learn from their experiences, and they can learn from us. So you're still defining what community is for you. And my sense is that it is pretty much being created as we speak. That you don't actually know what this is yet. You're experiencing it to a considerable degree, but you know that this is not the end, that there is more. This is just the beginning. If this is resonating for you, Capricorn, please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. Thank you for your comments, for your shares, your donations. It is all deeply appreciated. And so, 2 cards for the Devil in the past to clarify. There's the Queen of Cups, the lovely Queen of Cups. And the Knight of Pentacles. There's the 9 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups, clarifying the Sun card and the 4 of Swords. And for the future, the 10 of Cups and the Knight of Swords, clarified by the Magician and the King of Wands. We've got quite a few folks here. So I turn, the Emperor. Somehow that came out. So I'm going to keep it right there where I found it. So in the past, the Devil card is clarified by the Queen and the Knight of Cups. So this is really showing me that the expectation of you was so high because of the range of talents, skills, capacity you had from an early age, that you were unwilling to integrate this deeply caring, nurturing side of yourself. That part of you was given some attention by a loving parent. Particularly, there's a mother figure here who saw your particular talent and genius as being creative. However, in order to support that talent or to build that talent, there was a lot of expectation, responsibility put upon you to provide and protect the family. And I'm not sure how for each of you that occurred, but this is telling me you had a lot of responsibility for the family or a community at an early age. You had loving support, but you saw it not fully developed by the very person who supported you. They saw this talent. And their way of encouraging you was to build you into a strong, independent caretaker so that you could presumably support yourself in whatever way that was necessary. So that's one story that can cohere around the devil with the Knight and Queen of Cups. There are many other ways in which this could find expression. But I'm feeling like the pressure to take care of the person who took care of you, that's what it is part of what gave you the emotional groundwork, the fodder for some creative talent that you had, some opening of the heart, some caring for others at a deep level that was not supported, was not encouraged. In the present, the Sun card and the Four of Wands in your present day is clarified by the Five of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, those cards I saw first, and ultimately the Emperor, yes. And the way that you healed yourself from the challenges that you faced, particularly with relationships, because you were a provider, a caregiver, of some kind of an authority figure, even in your home. You have a lot of regrets about choices you made, opportunities that passed by, perhaps, failures of all sorts, disappointments in relationships. You're processing those by letting yourself feel the emotions of shame, guilt, embarrassment, humiliation. That's how you're releasing this past of emotional hurts, perhaps alienation from members of the family that you tried to protect or didn't. Perhaps you rebelled against this very rigid structure and moved away and thereby broke the trust of people in your family. The Nine of Pentacles is about this way in which you have come to build your life around your own independent interest and skills. So, this being the Independence card, you've achieved that in spades, it looks like. You've cultivated your own garden. In fact, that's what I feel you are actively doing now. You are finding that sense of joy and pleasure in your modest resources at hand. You are investing in yourself, in your talents, in your abilities, so that you can have choices about how you prosper, how you profit, and how you are able to make decisions about what is right for you. And having that independence, whether you're single or in a solid relationship, part of a community, you never lose sight of your own integrity. And the Emperor card finally being that place where you don't try to control circumstances, situations, or relationships that are beyond your control. As one who was expected to take care of others, deal with some of the harsher aspects of social regulation norms, the status quo, you have released control of that and really gone inward to find your sense of responsibility towards yourself, that you create, you manifest the reality that you want. You've selected the opportunities that you've pursued to enjoy the life you are now living. And this is feeling that you have a sense of ownership over your life, that you are not in control of anything other than your own energies. And this feels empowering to you because it's a way in which you can express your experience, your vast experience, your ability to strategize based on the successes you've had, how to get the support you want, how to live with others and achieve the goals that you are collectively working on behalf of. So this also can be you as some kind of a figurehead or, again, an authority figure in your present life. In the future, the Ten of Cups and the Knight of Swords clarified by the King of Wands and the Magician. There's something here about leadership, and it, to me, is about the leadership of moving beyond what is comfortable, what is safe, what feels good. You're aware that the community of support you crave, desire, that supports you, that loves you, that protects you, is not the end. That you are moving beyond that to what is true for you. How can you best express those talents within you? What is the plan? What is your proposal moving forward into a place of leadership? And the kind of leadership I'm talking about is not necessarily traditional leadership. It is leading by example. It is pursuing your heart's desire in a place of joy, from a place of abundance that is your prodding you to forward motion, to finding out where else can this exist, this community exist? What else can this community be composed of? How are communities created, integrating a variety of factors, some of which are required for me? This is showing you to be supremely intelligent, supremely sharp, supremely responsible, as Capricorns are. You understand what it means to be an authority, and moreover, the responsibility of that. So as you continue to quest, continue to interrogate this model of collective living, community life, you are aware that the information has to come to you out of a lot of information that was hidden and kept down, repressed in your life, that you're now recognizing the value of, how it's contributed to this beautiful place you've arrived, the community. Rather than you as the sole source of provision, you have a whole tribe around you that help you with that, and how you can promote and advance that as a model of inspiration, of creative articulation, of expression, is critical right now to the sense that you're experiencing of closing out an old past and moving into a new place of collective prosperity, collective abundance. I'm going to finish up this reading, Capricorn, with, oh, so many have flipped and turned. The tiger lily, the key word is security. Choose the safe harbor for now. How interesting. And this really does come back to the idea of gaining perspective, giving yourself the time, slowing down long enough to allow yourself to recognize what is guidance and what is a reaction. How this guidance that you are cultivating by allowing yourself to sit with new ideas, new perspectives, is what becomes the guidance that is directing you forward to the freedom that you are pursuing. Thank you so much, Capricorn, for this reading. Until next time, namaste.